Okay, so just so you guys know, I will have a slideshow presentation to go along with my speech. I just wasn't exactly sure how to incorporate that um, with my video. So, anyway, here's my persuasive speech. How many of you have read one of the following books? To Kill a Mockingbird, The Great Gatsby, Of Mice and Men, The Grapes of Wrath, Animal Farm. How would you feel if I told you that those books are on the banned books list? I felt pretty shocked when I found out that those books were on that list, especially since I have read a lot of them. There are hundreds of books that are being banned each year from school and public libraries on a state and federal level. I personally believe that we should not be banning books for any reason, no matter whether it be political or the theme or topic of the book. I've always been a strong advocate for books that teach those hard lessons like racism and violence and inequality. And so I did some more research to see if anyone else agreed with me, and I found that a lot of people do. And so I've combined my personal beliefs on this topic as long as other people's thoughts from my research about how we should not be banning books. And I've come up with three main reasons why. And those reasons are that these controversial themes and topics can help children learn critical lessons on how to and how not to treat others. It can help decrease ignorance. It can promote empathy and social emotional development. So first, I would like to talk about the difficult lessons and themes that can be found in a lot of banned books. Many schools in the past have had students read these types of books. I read a lot of them in high school. And these books have a lot of themes and ideas and just controversial topics. But the schools provide a very safe place to discuss a lot of these things. It's a place where students are able to talk about hard topics without having to worry about offending anyone or to ask questions that maybe would not be so kosher outside of a classroom. A great example of this is when I was in my junior year, we read To Kill a Mockingbird. And in that book, if any of you have read it, it talks a lot about racism, prejudice, and how good and evil can exist in the same community and also within one person. And racism, especially, is something that a lot of people don't really talk about. It's just kind of said, like, we don't do that, but there's not really any reason why. There is reason why, but there's not a deep level understanding that is learned within the school environment. And so that was something I was able to learn through To Kill a Mockingbird. Something else with that example, but with banned books in general, with these difficult themes, students are able to see the negative effects of a bad behavior or mentality, and so that can discourage that type of behavior or mentality in the future. With that same example of To Kill a Mockingbird, because I saw how terrible and how horrifying racism and prejudice was, it taught me that I should never, ever treat anyone like that just because they're of a different color of skin than I am, or have different beliefs, or are just different from me at all. And that was a big lesson I learned from reading a book that talks about those things. So these books are able to teach children and show them the things that we, like the behaviors and mentalities that we want to discourage. The second reason that we should not be banning books is because it helps decrease ignorance in students. A lot of books that are banned include subjects that should be talked about. A lot of them include historical knowledge of America and the world. With that same example of To Kill a Mockingbird with racism, a lot of books, including To Kill a Mockingbird, talks about racism or references slavery in American history. And that's something we want students to really learn about, especially if it's a story that shows what that was like. Because we want students and our children to understand what happened so that we can prevent those same mistakes from happening again. There's also a lot of cultural knowledge that can be found within banned books that we want students and children to learn so that they can understand people who are different from them. And so that they aren't as ignorant about the world and their country's past, and not ignorant of the different people all around the world and within even, their country and their city, just the different types of people that live all around us. Finally, the last reason we should not be banning books is because a lot of those difficult themes can help us develop empathy and social emotional skills with those hard topics. Whenever we read about people of different races or ethnicities, religions, backgrounds, whatever it may be, any difference really, we're less likely to make broad judgments. Really great examples of this are books that talk about things like with World War II, and learning about the things that the Jews went through, and that helps develop empathy towards that different type of people, so then you don't make as many broad judgments about the entire group of people. Another way that banned books helps develop empathy is through living someone else's story, which is what empathy essentially is. With particularly fiction books or stories or books that have a storyline, children are able to experience what the main character is feeling and is able to have a deeper look into their life and what is going on. And as they do that, they're able to experience new things and feel new feelings, which can help in real life situations when there are hard topics or different people. They're able to apply those skills that they've learned from books that have these hard topics into real life. So in conclusion, there are many reasons why people say that books should and should not be banned. But overall, I strongly believe that there should absolutely be no reason to ban knowledge. It's far more important for our children, our grandchildren, and our posterity to understand the world, to learn about the mistakes from the past so they don't happen again, and to develop emotional skills that will help them throughout their life. Thank you.